Hey everyone! If you've been watching any of my YouTube videos or following me on Instagram, you'll know that I've been participating in Story Kit Crush, and the story kit that I've been crushing lately is the Friend Story Kit, and this is actually the first story kit that I've been crushing. So I'm almost at the end of all of my kit content, so I just thought I'd give you guys a brief run through of the spreads that I've made using this kit. So the first one that I made is this page in my Life Crafted album, and this is just documenting some of my best friends. And this was based on a sketch from Crystal Irignate, and this was on her Patreon Facebook group. So if you'd like to check out that sketch, make sure to check out her Facebook group. And then I have most of my stories are actually in these two binders here. So I don't know if you can see this. No, you can't really. But the black binder here is labeled Our Stories, and this is volume 1. And then the grayish binder is labeled Before Your Story, People I've Loved. So this is my first foray into using the 6x8 albums, is the pages that I've done for this story kit so far. And how I'm differentiating them is I took Simple Scrapper Jennifer Wilson's Before Your Story class. And in that class, she talks about separating childhood stories, which is what I'm planning on doing, into 4 different types of categories. And one of the categories is people I've loved. So I decided to put them all into one album, and I'll have one album for each of those 4 different categories. So I have some Friends Story Kit Crush spreads in here, and then the rest are in this Our Stories album. And I've started this just going forward from the time that I started Story Kit Crush. So that was June 26th of this year. So it's been like almost 3 months. It's been 2.5 months that I've been working on this story kit. So I'll start with the ones in the Our Story album first. These ones are all current stories, or like recent stories, I guess, within the past like year and a bit. So this first story here is, I do have a process video for this one, and it's using a couple of these acetate word bits from this Friends story kit, as well as one of the journaling cards. And I also have some alcohol inked backgrounds that I used for this as well. And this is just documenting the reasons why I love my boyfriend. And I do have a process video for this, so you can check that out on my YouTube channel. And they're under the Story Kit Crush playlist. The second spread that I have here is documenting the friendship that I have with my boyfriend's friends. So he's been friends with them for quite a long time, and I just recently became friends with them after I met him. So I have here a couple of elements from the Friends Story Kit. This chipboard piece, that chipboard piece, this sticker, these little heart notepad sheets are all from that kit, but the pattern papers are from Coco Daisy. They're from the February 2021 collection. I think it was called Denim Blush. And this journaling card is also from the Friends Story Kit, as is this one, as is that one. And this one has a process video for this as well. The third story that I have in this album is documenting my friends that I have currently. So I did do that in my Life Crafted album. This is my Me, Myself, and I album, and it just happened to be one of the prompts in the Me, Myself, and I checklist as well. So that's why I have a spread about that in this album as well as in this album, because this is kind of like an ongoing album, and the Me, Myself, and I album is just for this year. So the elements that were in the story kit from this are these 2 journaling cards, that journaling card, that journaling card. This one I had cut into a sun shape, this sticker, and the chipboard pieces from just right there, there, and there. And then that word acetate piece there that says best and friend. And this one I have a process video for as well. And I had also used some of Rachel Tommen's sequin mixes in that spread. So that's everything that I have in this one album. And in my next album, which is the Before Your Story album, this is documenting all of my before, like, kind of like before 2020 relationships, I guess. So like relationships with family members and with friends. So I don't have the ones with family members here yet. Those ones I'll probably wait until I decide to crush the family story kit before I finish that up. But I do have a couple of spreads here now. So this one here is the one that I did for last week, and this is documenting the relationship between my seal and my sister's koala. So these were our childhood friends, so I counted that as kind of like an important Before Your Story spread. And for this spread, I have that acrylic word piece that came in the kit, as well as another one of those acetate pieces. I had used tape runner on this, and I don't like the way that it looks, but it's kind of stuck on there now, so I'm stuck using that. And then these journaling cards were also from the kit as well, and I made my own kind of journaling card as well with one of the heart notepad pieces and a couple of the stickers, and then the washi tape is from Cocoa Daisy. I just really liked how those colors really matched in with this kit. This next spread I did for my Stretch Your Stamps scrapbooking video series. This one was talking about using floral stamps. And so I just documented one of my favorite teachers who had unfortunately passed away. So this journaling card is from the Ali Edwards kit, as is this chipboard piece and this sticker here as well. And I just have a letter that I wrote to my teacher who passed away, and that is another sticker from the kit as well. And like I had mentioned, this was for my Stretch Your Stamps video series, so I will put a link down to that in the description box below if you're interested in checking out how I made the spread as well. This one here was documenting my high school friends. So this was, I think, one of the first spreads that I had made with this kit. It was either this one or the sketch challenge. I don't know if I can move this so that the light is less bright. Sorry, so I had to adjust my lighting there a bit, but we have a photo here that is a gatefold, and this is kept closed by a magnet there. And this is documenting my high school friends, and this doesn't open up a lot unless it's like you have to have the page up here before you can open the slot, because the binder rings kind of block it, but I don't really mind. And these are me and my 3 friends. And this was also one of my Stretch Your Stamps scrapbooking video series layouts. So I will put a link to that as well. And these stickers, as well as this chipboard piece and these fabric pieces, and these 3 journaling cards were all from the Friends story kit. My next spread is documenting my pharmacy friends. And I have a flip out here, like so. So on this spread, I have chipboard pieces that are from the kit. These stickers are all from the kit. This chipboard piece is from the kit. That sticker is. This journaling card is, as well as these 3 journaling cards. And then I just accented them with some heart stickers from the Hearts scrapbooking kit. So there's that one. And the last spread that I have in here is documenting all of my ex-boyfriends that I've had over the years. So this was using a stamp set from Ali Edwards. This was like the Ali's hand alphabet, I believe. And I used some of the, because the kit came with a lot of these heart papers, I just wanted to use up some of those here. And I did a pretty good job, I think, of using up lots of those. And I just documented some of the things that I've learned from my ex-boyfriends. And that is pretty much it in terms of the story spreads that I made with this kit. So that was a total of 9 spreads, but it did take me 2.5 months. So what do I have left in this kit? Well, I have this notepad. It came with like 30 of these, I think. So I count it as a success that I managed to use up as many as I did, but I do have about 18 of those left. This one I probably will be keeping in my notepad pile just for writing notes on, like if I wanted to leave my boyfriend some notes around the house or in his lunchbox. I think this would be a really cute way for me to leave him some notes. From the chipboard set, I have this one piece and this one piece left. And I am going to be using these two to make a card in a second. So if you like, you can stay tuned for that. Stickers, I had used up all of my stickers. So that's pretty impressive. And I also have these random bits of journaling cards. I had cut out the sun from this card, and this was from the bottom of that card. And then this I had punched out a circle from as well. So I saved them just in case I wanted to use them for something. And I also have this checklist that I had brainstormed some ideas that I was thinking about using this story kit for, and I managed to get most of these done. So that's about it. I'll be working on a card right now, so if you are interested in watching that, then stay tuned. To get started, I have a piece of white cardstock cut to 5.5 inches wide by 8.5 inches tall, and I folded that in half to make a standard A2 size card. I'm using my Nina Solar White Classic Crest 110-pound cardstock, and that's my favorite for making nice and sturdy card bases. I also have this piece of grayish cardstock that I've cut to the same size as the card front, and I thought that color would go well with the rest of the kit contents that I have left over. And I have another piece of white cardstock. This one's a lighter 65-pound cardstock, and I'm just trimming off 1/4 inch on all 4 sides with my decal trimmer, just to give that kind of like a torn edge effect. So here I'm just positioning some of the elements I had left over from the story kit. I knew for sure that I wanted to use up that striped chipboard piece and the one that says "Miss You." So my plan is to use one of those heart-shaped notepad papers and stamp the words "We will" on that so that the sentiment reads "We will miss you." And I'm going to use up one of those strips I have left over from cutting up my journaling cards to make that long chipboard piece seem more in place. So I'm just using my We Are Memory Keepers stub angle puncher to punch the corners into like a ticket stub shape, similar to how that long chipboard piece looks. And my idea is to layer the chipboard piece on top of that and have the edge kind of going off the card front on the top right side there. Just stamping the words "We will" on this blue heart using one of the alphabets from this Ali Edwards and Laura Wanzik collaboration stamp set. And I decided I wanted to have the strips of yellow with the chipboard coming in from the bottom left side as well as the top right side. So I'm just trimming my chipboard piece in half so that I can have a bit for both sides. And I was debating about using these 3D sticker embellishments from the recent Great Outdoors collection from Ali Edwards, but the blue heart was so large on this card that I decided these floral stickers were a bit too small for what I had in mind. So I pulled out my leftover embellishments from Paige Evans' Bungalow Lane ephemera bits, and this large butterfly was just the right size to fit into that space, and the colors just went really well with the rest of the elements that I had. So just attaching everything on here to the card base, and I did decide to layer the butterfly on with some 3D foam squares to give it a bit more dimension. And to finish this card off, I'm just using some glitter enamel dots from Coco Daisy's Denim and Blush collection to add a bit of sparkle and shine to the bottom left and top right corners. While I'm doing that, I just wanted to give some of my final thoughts about this Friends story kit. I really loved working with this kit as my first ever story kit crush kit, and I thought the theme of Friends was perfect for helping me start on my Before Your Story childhood albums. And I really loved the pinks, yellows, and blues in this kit as well. Such nice colors to work with here. I kind of wish there were less stickers and chipboard pieces and more acetate and fabric pieces. I think I used up a lot of the fabric pieces just on one of the first spreads that I did, and it would have been nice to have more of those to add different types of textures to the rest of my spreads as well. And the heart notepad was by far the hardest to use up because there were just so many of them. And the paper is kind of like a printer paper weight, so it's harder to use those for interactive spreads where I might have used up a few more of them. I liked the prompts on the journaling cards, stickers, and chipboard pieces provided, but kind of wish that there wasn't as much repetition for some of those prompts, like the Miss You prompt. And I also felt like, in general, it took me a while to get used to not having pattern paper to add color and creativity to my spreads, because I do use pattern papers on a lot of my other, like Life Crafted album spreads, for example. So I did have to pull in some jelly printing and some alcohol inks, as well as some pattern papers from Coco Daisy to help supplement that kit. But I do think that would have been remedied if I had had the Friends story stamp set to work with as well, or the digitals to print out extra patterns and such. It also took me a few spreads before I started thinking of creative ways to use those journaling cards for things other than just journaling cards. So for example, like cutting them into shapes to use as more embellishments, and that's something that I definitely want to try to do more of with my next kit as well. In the end, I managed to make 9 spreads and 1 card out of this kit, and I only have a couple of scraps left over, which I'm just going to throw away, plus the heart notepad that I'm going to be using as a notepad. And this did take me about 3 months to get through, but I'm not in any sort of rush to finish my story kits or my story albums, so I have no problem with that. In the next few months, I'll be tackling the Listen story kit from June 2019, so I'm really looking forward to that. Thanks so much for watching!